Karnevalsgesellschaft Costume Ball. We are ready to start our program now, and we will begin with our Hofmarschall, Mr. Richard Lund, coming in to tell a few jokes.
To the 55th season of the Anaheim Karnevalsgesellschaft. 55 years! My goodness. So my wife and I, Virginia and I, had to take our dog, Pepper, to the vet today. And while we were there, you know, they have now these cages with these kitty cats in them. And we went and asked the lady about the kitty cats, and she said, well, yeah, they're strays. And my wife said, oh, that's terrible. She said they were probably not given enough attention at home. And I thought, yeah, that's so like a woman. A woman thinks that if a cat is a stray, it probably is a stray because it wasn't given enough attention. And women think that if a dog is a stray, it's probably because it wasn't given enough attention. And if a woman goes stray, she probably wasn't given enough attention. But if a man goes stray, he's a dog. What are you gonna do? So this businessman was getting in the elevator, and as he walks in the elevator, he sees this beautiful blonde with a big smile on her face, and she says, TGIF. And he looks over at her and smiles and says, SHIT. And she looks back at him and she's kind of confused and she says, TGIF. And he looks back at her and smiles and says, SHIT. And she says, she's really frustrated now. She says, TGIF, it means thank God it's Friday. Duh. And he smiles back at her and she says, SHIT. It's still is Thursday. Duh. So there was this convention of like paranormal activity, you know, these people that believe in ghosts. And this one speaker says, who out here in the audience has seen a ghost? And everybody raises their hand. And he looks around and goes, wow, that's pretty good. He says, well, who out here has had some encounter with a ghost? And about half the people still have their hands raised. And so he looks around and he says, well, who out here has actually touched a ghost? And about 3 people still have their hands up. And he goes, wow, that's incredible. So who here has had an intimate experience with a ghost? And 1 person still has their hand up. And he says, excuse me, sir, have you had a sexual experience with a ghost? And he looks at him and he goes, brings his hand down and he's very embarrassed and he says, oh, I thought you said goat.